Hello, Internet. This is a follow-up to what I was doing in the last project. And I was thinking, because I was in the shower and it just hit me. I didn't have any more shampoo. And I was seeing blurry. And I was like, what the hell am I gonna do now? So that led to one thing to another. And then I realized, well, maybe we can work more on this by blurring the background a bit. I've done a few changes since the last time. I got rid of the magenta color here, that very light blue. Um, then I have duplicated this mountain here just to fill up some space so it doesn't look so empty. Then in the reflection, I have created this ripple effect. It's not perfect, but from far away, it's yeah more subtle. And I'm kind of looking here. I think this one is not on top. Why aren't you on top? Why? Just why? Well, I suppose there is a reason, and that reason is I don't know. What the hell is this? No, it's not this. Oh, I think the water is on top. Well, maybe we can just fix it with a bit of an eye candy here. And there. Or I have no clue what that line is. Let's try to find out. It's the lake. Oh, it's the reflection, I think. Nope. What are you? You must be something. With this? Jesus. Let's go with X-ray. Yeah, but I can't select it for some reason. And where are you connected to? I just love when this happens. You have... no, it's not that. Oh, I'm gonna just destroy everything until I find it. What could it be? Well, let's just leave it as it is. I'll probably figure it out later. I'm most sure that it's a reflection of some sort. Nah. Oh, I see. The reflection is at all the way up. So maybe if we move it up a bit. There we go. Although that does create some small issues here. Well, never mind. Well, actually, I do mind. I don't like this. It looks a little bit funky. Let's see now. Is it looking? No, it's not looking good. It's creating that seam that I really do not like. This was supposed to be a short tutorial, but obviously I'm becoming insane and trying to fix all of the small details here and there. I think this is because of that ripple effect over there that's creating that effect of a sim. Possibly, possibly, possibly. I don't know. Maybe if we try it like this. Looks like a man if you look at it from a... Ah, whatever. That looks a tiny bit better. Small details, but now let's see. So this one is one object. This one behind is another. So what we could do is group this with this with this and with this because it's in the background. So we're gonna group it. And now we're gonna create something. I'm thinking of duplicating. Well, first let's save. Always save. Let's duplicate it. Go behind this. And now I want to create a specific effect. So the problem is that we have a lot of details going on here that are kind of overlapping with the smaller details behind. So this is an issue because, well, I don't actually like this tiny spot. It's distracting. But anyway, we're gonna see if we can fix it. I'm gonna try to create kind of like I don't know, let's try a little curved shape. Something like this. Let's see if it works at least. Okay, so we have a black line, which is not helping us very much. But if we go with a gradient, and we go like this, let's remove that. Oh, we can't. Well, whatever. Let's create a middle point here. Let's make this black. Let's make this white. Let's make this other one white. Am I doing it right? So I'm kind of trying an effect where I'm blurring the image. So in order to blur it, the background, sorry, I need to blur the back and I kind of want to leave the bottom and the top so it's inverted. Then maybe we should go well, first let's try a full white. Let's see how this works. I'm not sure. And I want to kind of blur this image and take the background with the mountains and everything and then set the mask. So nothing changed, but now if we go on blur, you can see a little effect, which is horrible, but anyway. Okay, that's something that I'm going for. And it's only blurring where the white zone is, and this is the second part, which is sitting on top of the first part. So if we try to kind of manipulate this, oh, kind of like this, I don't know. Let's try to pull it a little more like this, and like this. Maybe the blur is a bit too exaggerated. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? Let's remove some of the blur. Not too much, but maybe somewhere like this. So I kind of still want to keep the shapes and the format and everything, but I want to reduce elements in the, because when you have things in focus in the front, you're focused on them and the background becomes blurred. That's how eyes work. If you have eyes, of course. If you see with other receptors, well, it might be different. But in the case of the eyes, this is more or less how it works. So we're kind of keeping the reflection because the reflection is subtle here, and we're keeping the details of the sky as well. Because if I blur the sky too much, then it's gonna become an amalgamation. That's the word? Well, whatever. It's gonna look like a big splash of color that blends in and it's not looking so great. And the peak is kind of picking up here, so it's we can still see it through the blur. It's like there. Well, it's not perfect, but whatever. Okay. So I think this kind of brings our element in the foreground. Maybe I should move this a bit higher. I don't know why. I feel like this. Okay. First I was thinking of using a mesh gradient, but the problem with the mesh gradient is that the blur applies to everything, so it doesn't apply to only the points that I'm doing. So just to demonstrate, let's do whatever. No, let's actually use something. And let's make it. What did I do? Why aren't you working? Oh, I know why you're not working, because I'm inside. I need to be outside of the workspace. Sorry. Anyway, so we have this, and if I would want to use this, this works perfectly to some extent. So for example, if I want to just change the colors here and change the colors here, this works great for gradient meshing. Mathematics. You are like me. Why would I ever need mathematics with matrices and whatnot, you know? And now that math is like, hello, I'm here. Let's do some work. And you're like, I don't know how to use matrices anymore. Anyway, the point is that if I try to blur, so if I try to select these points and I try to blur this, it blurs everything. So unfortunately, this didn't work out as I imagined initially. So yeah, it's still a really cool thing to play with when it comes to gradients, but the blurring effect is just sad. I wish they could make it that the blur only applies to the point selected. That would be so amazing. That would be a game changer. And possibly, it's probably possible, but very difficult to implement from a programming standpoint. Well, I kind of like this shit. It looks interesting. Anyway, so let's see. We have a little problem here. Hello there. There you are. Did I catch you? There we go. Inkscape, please cooperate with me. Yeah, you're the one. You're the one. So it's this. No, the other one. Okay. So I see this is having some issues. Oh. Ah, wait, I need to be in. Okay, select. Okay, there we go. We need to be in the gradient tool. We select this. We move this higher. We move this kind of like this. This one needs to be darker. There we go. To accentuate the foreground. And this we can kind of like play how much we want to go high enough. I think that looks okay. Kind of want to keep the metal legs in the background there. Yeah, I think this kind of fixed my issue with it. So the next step is to just, this is interesting, but I might just keep it light. Oh, I created this as lines. How do I do in this case? Maybe just we can trick it. Please work, because I have no clue if it's gonna work or not. I'm gonna keep them as lines, the strokes. Let's increase this. Let's maybe to a 2.4, 2.5. Let's see how that looks. I'm curious if the gradient applies to it, but I doubt it. And you know why I doubt it? Because I'm not in the right gradient. In the right group, sorry. So this group is here, and these two paths need to be in the same group. And they're not. Okay, now they are. But the thing is that they are strokes. So what do we know about strokes? Nothing. We know nothing because we're like Jon Snow. Well, maybe we do know something, but not as much as we want. The thing is that this stroke needs to become... Oh, hey, Inkscape, be nice. Needs to become a fucking puff. So it's like this. Yeah, okay. And why didn't you apply the gradient on it? Ah, well, this is complicated. Okay, let's try something. But weirdly enough, this is inside, so maybe the gradient should apply. I don't know. Now this is weird for me because there is a gradient here, but it's not applying globally. So what do we do? I think I might reapply the gradient after I'm done with this. But just to make sure, let me make some backups here. So the top color should be this. And the bottom color should be this, I suppose. Unless I did more things to it. Oh, no, sorry, not you. You. Oh, I did create a midpoint. So the midpoint should be this color. Well, not much of a difference, but whatever. So let's see what happens now. If I go here into this gradient and we say bye, gradient, bye, we hate you, we don't want to see you anymore. Yeah, this applies to the whole thing. I'm just gonna create the minimum and the max, and we're gonna create the medium afterwards. Okay, here's another problem. Why am I clicking so many times? This one needs to be empty. And this one needs to become a path. And I'm gonna apply the same. Shoot. Let's return this. So first I'm gonna do this. Then I'm gonna do this. And then I'm gonna try to move it here. Okay. So you are gonna become a path. If you want to become a path, do you want to become a path? That is a curious question. Oh, why are you doing this? Ooh, what did I do? Whoops, 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 whoops. That's not good. Uh, that's weird. Ah, come on. Just become stroke to path. Control Alt C I was doing, but weird enough. Anyway. And you, the same. Control Alt C. And now we just duplicate you. Bam. We move you to the other side. If you would please. There we go. Then we do this. And we move it to this other side. And then we do this. And we move it to the other side. More or less like that. Anyway, so we have our elements. And now let's go to the full gradient. Apply the gradient again, because for some reason gradients don't work the way we think they work. And we're gonna do a middle point. Gonna go bam, bam, bam. And let's look at it. Interesting. Oops. Okay, that should look okay, but I have one more thing to do, and that is applying a gradient to this one, which applies to everything. Just gonna go a little darker here. Let's see, because it's a clone. The clones. Well, we play a little bit more on this gradient. Let's see. No. Why am I not trying to go with a little bit of... No, that doesn't look good. Ooh, ooh. Interesting. Rusted, but no. Let's try to borrow some of the colors from the back. Maybe a little darker. Just to give it that 3D look a bit. For some reason, I don't know why, but I feel like this could use a small stroke here. A very tiny one, and one, oops, not like that, and one that could use sort of like this color, maybe even smaller. Let's see. I don't know. I think that kind of brings it out. My only mistake, I think, is the fact that I didn't clone these things. But we could kind of like get away with it if we apply. Let's group them again. I feel like a group within a group would help us at this point. So we have 6. And maybe if we add a little bit of an offset here. Offset. Oh, the other way. A little bit of a thickness. And then we can group the other ones. And we add the same effect. Offseto. And we go into the opposite direction for some reason. Weirdly enough, this didn't apply the same gradient. Oh, this is weird. But what can we do? A little bit of weirdness never hurt anyone, I think. Let me try to reapply the gradient. Maybe it works. I think this one has something on it, but I don't know exactly what. I don't have a feel. Oh, that didn't work out as well. We're just gonna kind of fake it. I don't know how to fix. Something's weird with the gradients, and I don't know exactly how to fix these things all the time. So we can just fake it a little bit there. So this is kind of it. Maybe the background could use a bit more blurriness. Let's go with a 10, 11. Nah, 11 is too strong. I think between maybe 9.3 or 5. 4. I'm looking at the pointiness to kind of not lose that element. Yeah, I think this works. I think. I don't know. Well, guys, I think this is the end of it. And it didn't end up as beautiful as I wanted it to be. But it did reach this effect. Oh, maybe we can do one other effect. Now that I think about it. What if we blur these lines? Because they're kind of distracting here on the sides. So we duplicate them. And then we create an element. Go something like this. Like a little bit more like this. We go with the white effect. And then we go blur. Oh, too much blur. Maybe. Well, let's try it like this for now. Maybe bigger. Although I could try a stronger effect. Let's see. That's a bit too strong, but maybe if we pull this to maintain the sides. Move. Not like that. like this and like that and like this and like that. Maybe pull it a bit stronger here, here. Okay, let's see how this works. So I'm gonna take this with this and I'm gonna mask them and I'm gonna blur and that didn't look good. Um, yeah, interesting. Let's. I think I need to do two opposites here. This is interesting. Let's see. So let's undo this and let's create another shape. Oops. Ah, it's gonna be inside, whatever. Okay. And I want this shape. This shape. Duplicate it on top. And we want to. I don't know if it's gonna work. Maybe division. No. What should we use? Let's try difference. And let's go with the same blur. Although I'm not entirely sure if this is gonna work. Let's go with a 40 and a 40. And I'm going to, oh, this is gonna be tough. I'm gonna apply this with this and these ones with these ones. I don't know. Yeah, sort of like that. Let's see. Oh gosh, sorry. Because I want to create this sort of like effect on the edges of blurriness. Maybe an 8 should be okay. Let's leave it at 7 to keep some details. Maybe I'm overthinking it. So the idea is that we have a blur that happens here and it kind of goes and blends in with the sharper because if we would have kept it the other way, the sharpness would go through this. Since they're very thin, they would show through the opacity. So I didn't want to do that. Well, I think this kind of hits the spot. There would need to be more color management, to be honest, because since the background is so orange, that orange should reflect on this metal and the wires. But to be honest, I'm kind of pushing the limits of what I can do here. Well, I mean, we can put here. Here it works. Let me try one thing, because I'm really curious. So we have a gradient on this, but what if we group it again and do another gradient on it? And we, it doesn't work. I have no clue, to be honest. Let's try it. Is this? It's working really weird. Gradient combination of gradients is tricky to do. Technically, what I'm doing should work, but I think I messed up a few things. Oh no, let's not go too far. So delete this. Oh, that's not good. So we can undo this group and keep the original gradient, and I'm gonna redo the gradient then, because I'm not happy with that gradient. Which I don't see anymore. That's kind of funky. So we're gonna redo the gradient. This one is gonna be... Oh, that's weird. What's happening? Did I double click it? Okay. Oh, that looks kind of interesting. Technically, it should be on all of the segments. So what if we try to do something smarter? But damn it, how do I do it? I need to put this free into a segment. So I kind of need to take, oops. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Well, this is problematic because I have them in sort of like separate groups. So let's see if it works. First, I'm gonna save. And I'm gonna try to see if I can get them to group. Okay. So that's one group. Then I have this with not that one. With this one. And this with this one. This is another group. And then I have this last four. And they're going into a group as well. Okay. That's interesting. And now let's go with the beautiful gradient. Oops, not that. Here. That looks neat. And let's try to apply the same gradient here. How did I do that? I forgot. Was this the gradient I'm looking for? I can't remember. So that's the first. No, it's not that one. So this. But I know it's not working because the gradient doesn't apply correctly. So I need to kind of... But we're gonna play with that gradient in a moment. That doesn't look too great. This one doesn't apply too great either. So we need to first make it like so. Make it more or less. This one needs to be darker. I don't know. Maybe, oh, oops, sorry. This entire thing. But why is this not applying correctly? This one... We have an issue here. Let's remove this fill. Let's make it black. And now let's see if the gradient can apply. It's not. Well, that's weird. Well, I suppose we can just do this and... Oops. Oh, there was a gradient here. Ah, it's the gradient for everything. So I can just duplicate this. Inkscape is becoming moody. It's like you're doing stuff that I do not agree with. And I understand him. Okay, let's try it again. But for the whole thing... Oh, why is the gradient applying so weirdly? Okay. So we want this color to be a darker color, okay. And we want sort of like this one. And then we go to the next one. I did it. Oh, I meant the whole gradient. Oh my god, this is killing me for the group. Okay, and we're gonna try to kind of mimic what we did upstairs. Weird, but interesting nonetheless. And one last gradient, if you please. Well, this one actually doesn't look too bad. I might just apply some of the elements here and there. I think it's kind of taking the background color. I'm gonna try to push it like this. And let's see. Sorry. On this one, on the group, I'm gonna try to pull it down. Maybe this one is a bit too strong. And more to this one as well. I just want a bit of color, not too much. Just to reflect that sun color that orange sun color. And I don't want to give too much sun color either. And I don't know if this looks okay. The more we work on it, the more we do. I said it's gonna be a short one. Oh, hi, sorry, I didn't notice you. Uh, I was just so into it that I didn't notice the chat anymore. Okay, so this one. I am not sure if I should mess with the colors too much. But let's try. Okay, that doesn't look good at all. That looks horrible. Okay, not sure what to do here. No, that kind of looks interesting, but I don't want to push it too much. Let's leave it at this for now. I can't give that tint, that orange tint as I like. And again, I know this project doesn't look too appealing because... Oh, interesting though. Let's see if I can make something here. Darker. Maybe more desaturated. Something like that. Let's see. There is like a little bit of rust into the color, but I don't know. Some things work, some things don't. Maybe if I try dark color here. Nope. Nah. If I try to push it towards the red and darker. I'm not 100% sure that worked. Can pull it a little bit lower. This is just color experimentation now and with gradients because, to be honest, I'm gonna leave it just as it is. It's difficult to catch the color into this metallic part. With the reflection, I might be close, but it's gonna take a lot of fiddling, and I don't want you guys to get bored because then I have to just test variations and put them in the background and compare them and see what fits, what doesn't. But I think we got lucky with the elements in the background. I'm gonna just try one last thing. Try to reduce the color here, push it towards the red. Maybe less saturated, maybe full red. Or a brown with a darker color. What am I doing with my life? don't think it's working. Did I mess it up? Yeah, I messed it up. Let's undo stuff. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Going into too much experimentation and taking so much time just to get the right color, with the right ambient and the right everything, and that doesn't look too bad. Looks rusty, but I think it's too much brown and orange and come on, go back to the freaking color I used to have. So many colors. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Let's just leave it as it is. I'm not gonna touch it anymore. I'm gonna leave it for you guys to play with, and I hope you love it or you hate it, and I don't know. Hope it inspires you to do crazy things like me. Just play around. Don't be afraid to do projects that go nowhere, because at the end of the day, it's just for your own experience, for your own learning. Um, things might look weird, things might not look weird. Inkscape is a very flexible program, and it can do quite a lot of things that are wild. Like for example, today I was just playing around, and this is the sculpt tool, and I was like, well, whatever. And I pressed this button out of curiosity, and then I was like, I need to be on them. Sorry. Where are they? Here in the workspace. Um, so you see, this is so cool. Maybe let's go to 15th. You see, the gradient goes, the blurriness goes sort of like in a gradient, but it only applies to one element in particular. So for example, it's not blurring gradiently on this part, it's on this circle alone, it's kind of doing, let's go with 5. Maybe I can explain it better. If I go like this, you see it only blurs this. Oops. And if I go on both of them, one gets blurred more than the other. So it kind of creates that gradient thing, but tricky. If you have many of objects in a group, yeah, it's very versatile. So yeah, I really loved discovering that thing. Uh, okay, one more edit here, because I still don't like it. It's too brown. Whoops. It's too brown to the top. Maybe we're just gonna remove some of the saturation and just leave it as it is. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna upload this to G Drive. If you guys want to take it from there and play around and do your own things, maybe create your own variations, send it back to me, make me jealous. I'm kidding. I'm never gonna be jealous on you guys because you guys are awesome. But I'm really curious if you guys can come up with other things that I didn't think about. You know, it's like Inkscape is the software that requires only imagination, and it gives you all of the tools that you need to create whatever you like. Of course, in comparison to Illustrator from Photoshop, it has sort of some hidden features that you kind of have to fiddle around. Uh, well, but we cannot compare. This is an open source project, I mean Inkscape, versus a multi-million dollar software from a big company that invests all into the UI and to the user experience and has a huge feedback. And the project's developed into it's like a distinctive experience on both of them, on how your workflow works. If you're in the industry of graphic design, yeah, Illustrator is the boss. But Inkscape does kind of like 90% of what Illustrator does. And I'm quite happy with everything that I've discovered into it. Though some of the technical aspects of Inkscape becomes very fidgety, and you have to go into some of the more, it's not programming or anything, but it's the hidden features in the filters and extensions that become cumbersome, and you don't necessarily need experience because you can just play around, but it's not very, let's say, not very user friendly. But again, for simple designs or even complex designs, you can just use simple tools to create your stuff and simple techniques. Don't overdo it. Simplicity is always the best answer. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my rant, and that this is more like a therapy session. It's not a tutorial, as I always say. So I hope this therapy session just calmed you and made your day just a little bit better. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya. Bye 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 bye.